Hi, I'm April Walterscheid, and this is financial planning for comedians, actors, artists. And my guest today is Matt Storrs.
Hello.
Comedian. And he is basically, does a lot of stuff. He does the Storrs objection. Tell us about yourself and like your day job if you have one.
I'm an attorney. I work for the government in my daily life, and then I've been an attorney for 4 years now. So I've been doing that, other than that, just do comedy and
Makeup shows that you can do.
makeup shows. Yeah. Just I meld the two, comedy and law, and the Storrs objection. So
it's very good. I saw it one time and I like it. I'll see it again.
Yeah.
Sorry, that sounds offensive.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's been going on for 2.5 years now. It's no big deal.
So just once, yeah. I just saw it once and then yeah, it's very creative.
Thank you.
So law keeps money coming in, so you don't die.
Does. Yes, yeah, that is a nice thing.
Yeah.
The not dying is definitely a positive. And then I'm very lucky in that I work for the federal government now, because the benefits.
Doing law.
Oh,
yeah. Wow. Okay.
So I get a lot of benefits and matching of contributions, stuff like that. So that makes things a lot easier, but at the same time, it provides a lot of flexibility. So it's a nice dynamic.
Wow. Okay. So it's like you get summers off, like in school.
No, not so much. But I do have like a 3-hour window of when I can come in during the day, and I work from home 4 days a week. So it's pretty nice.
Very nice. What do you do for financial planning? Do you do anything daily, monthly, or yearly, or do you just like kind of wing it?
So I do a couple things. My girlfriend, whose show we are at currently, Lady Killers at Sip Coffee and Beer Garage Monday nights in Phoenix, Arizona. So I come and I help her set everything up, and then it basically from there just goes. She hosts it and everything like that. I want to hang out and support. So I use Mondays as my financial planning day. So I, will look at my mortgage. I'll look at my, credit cards, my car payment, everything. Make sure everything's been paid, and just, plan out. Okay, when can I expect to do it? And even though, generally it's the majority of stuff hits, like the 20th onward, or between the 20th and the 1st of the month.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah. But even though that happens, I still try and do it every Monday where I'm like, okay, this is the time I set aside to do that. At least look at it and make sure everything's good. Make sure there hasn't been any weird fraudulent stuff in my accounts. And go from there. Because I've had several instances where, either my credit cards were stolen or skimmed. So I try and, once a week, take a look at that. So
make sure you're not dying in the financial department.
Yeah. Because if you're gonna have to, call your bank and tell them, I did not spend $500 at Radio Shack. You want to get on that as quickly as possible.
Not months later, and you're like, hey, I noticed something.
Yeah, why is there, who still shops at Radio Shack?
Yeah, I thought they were out of business.
Yeah.
So it's just like a weekly thing. That's great. That's a great answer. And then, do you have any stocks or CDs?
I don't have any stocks or CDs. I do have an IRA. I have I have a regular IRA and a Roth IRA. I had, to buy my condo, I liquidated my old IRA, which was a Roth, and to use for the down payment.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then through my work, I've been doing when, like, so for instance, if I get paid gigs, I'll get, however much money from that, and that'll offset some of my earnings. So I'll use that to pay bills or credit card debt or whatever it is. And with that extra money in my allotment for that month, I'll increase my contributions. So and then I'll have an extra matching period or amount, and so that's allowed me the last year to get quite a bit of contribution into the stuff I have through work. That's fantastic.
They love it.
They do.
Yep.
That's such
financial advice.
Such good financial advice, ladies and gentlemen.
He's like, I hear you, honk.
Yeah.
Honk.
But yeah. So that's been really good. It's been really been very lucky in that respect. But yeah, I mean, my goal was to get $10,000 into an IRA or of some type by the time I was 30, and I turned 30 at the end of the month, and I'm not going to hit that, but I am over $9,000.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
So I'm not.
You don't need to kill yourself.
Yeah, I'm not that far off. So yeah, and I mean, and I could be, if I wanted to be there, I could easily put $1,000 in there this month. Everything would be like shoestring tight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I could, if I really like got obsessive compulsive and like I have to do this, I could do it.
And then the IRAs through your work, is that the matching thing?
Yeah,
so
it's matching. Yeah, so they only match like a portion of it.
Yeah.
But most of the time people don't elect to do enough in matching. So they like, for instance, for me, my Roth contributions aren't really matched, I don't think, whereas my traditional are. Or my traditional are first, at least. So I try and keep that as my primary focus of like, okay, so like I'll do $50 a month, or $50 every paycheck. It goes in to my traditional, 100 goes into my Roth. So the full amount of the traditional is going to be matched. So I'm going to automatically get 100 in there, if not more, with the Roth as well.
Where's the one that's at 10,000?
They're lumped together. That's just a lump together. I haven't looked at which ones at which amount, but they, they're as the lump sum amount, it's 9,000.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I haven't looked at it.
So you don't do any stocks. I can't ask you the next question. Have you had like financial planner before?
I have. Well, that was a aspect of contention. When I was in my former employment as an attorney, I was working as a family law attorney. And one of the main things that my firm was really focused on was doing a lot of outreach and networking. And with family law, one of the big things is you want to be their attorney. Not just like you get them with a divorce, sure, but or with child custody or whatever it would be. But then you also want them to like trust you, so they would be their first point of contact for any question they would have later on. So like if they need to draw up a will, or if they need to make investments or whatever, you want them to trust you. So it made the law firm and just the attorneys that I worked with really desirable to other attorneys and networking groups. So I met a lot of financial planners through that.
Oh, cool.
So I gleaned as much information as I could. And at that time I was like, I was what is that? That's 4 years ago almost now. So I was really insistent at the time. Like I was very bad with my money. In some respects I have gotten better, but at the same time, like there are still like trends of like spending where I'm like, okay, I've done something bad. Like I need to spend the next 3 months making up for it. But my significant other at the time, I was like, yeah, we should go to a financial planner. We were going to get married at the time.
Aww.
And she was really insistent, like, no, we don't have to do that. We don't, she was very knowledgeable about her money and everything. But both of us had horrible communication about our spending habits and about how we were paying for things and everything like that. So it basically became like, cool, like I gave half of my paycheck to her to plan the wedding, to pay off her our community debts and everything like that. When in fact, if we had gone and spent $200, to pay somebody to have that awkward conversation we wanted to avoid, we would have been much more focused with our money and much more efficient than we were. And so, like, I think that, especially if you're in a relationship with somebody and you want to, like, take a next step or a bigger step or anything like that, going to a financial planner, just so you're on the same page and, like, you understand how to communicate about money, and, like, to understand, like, what your respective goals are and how you can, like, build towards those goals and, recognize spending habits and, just learn the language of money. I think that's a really, really important thing that people could do.
I should add that to my questions. That's great. I didn't even think about that. So let's see if there's anything else. Is there a future financial goal you have that you're saving up for right now?
It's a weird thing, because I bought a car this past year and I bought a condo this last year. So I'm pretty focused on paying those off as quickly as I can, but I also have ridiculous student loans.
This is a law thing.
Yeah, it's a law thing. It's surprising.
Is it like 100,000?
No.
Oh.
It's so much.
200,000?
They're about.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
I was
Don't.
like,
Here's another financial thing. Don't put your loans into forbearance for longer than you need to.
Oh.
That is a mistake. Don't do it. Pay something.
Like $5?
Yeah, pay $5. That'll go towards the interest. Would be great.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's not fun. But with that, I basically am in a position where, like, in the determination of, like, a mortgage and your credit score and everything like that, a student loan, even a ridiculous one like what I have, doesn't impact it as much as, like, other debts that are seen as bad. So it's you have this higher level of education, so you should be it makes you seem less risky, but, like, it does have an impact on my credit. You know what I mean? Like, I looked at my credit report just last weekend, and what the main thing is, like, you have too much debt associated.
Oh, that's all, like, just blinking on the screen.
It's just like, you have too much.
That's a good start.
Yeah.
To know that.
Yeah. But it's not, with that being said, I have a car payment and I have a mortgage, and I pay more than the minimums on both of those. I pay more towards the principal on my student loans every month. So what I try and do is, with my car, I try, and my mortgage, I try and pay at least $100, $150 more than what the payment is, and pay it towards the principal every month. And then, if I get more money from comedy or whatever, I'll try and do that the same way too.
Principal's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with my student loan, I try and use the method where, since there's so many different ones, they're all federal loans, luckily, but they all are different amounts. So some are, like, really, really high, some are, like, 5,000 and below. So what I chose to do is I chose, like, it's like the Ramsey method, I believe, or whatever it is. So it's the whatever the one is where you pick a debt and you focus on paying that one.
Okay.
And then you kind of, you still pay your minimums of everything, but you pay, instead of paying, a scatter shot of an extra amount towards all the big loans, you pay it towards one of them, and then you start trying to pay that one off. So I've finally gotten into a position where I'm zeroing in on like the lowest one that I had.
That's great.
So like that's not, you know, it's in the grand scheme of that loan, you know, the whole student loans, not the greatest thing in the, you know.
Oh, because if it's really huge.
Yeah, it's still
it's
really
like,
huge.
What's the point?
Yeah, it's still really huge, and you know, I could, you know, I am firmly believe that I will probably never escape it as a loan. Yeah. But well, I mean, I do work for the government, so I'm hoping for that 10-year payoff.
Yeah.
Whether or not that sticks around, but you know, it feels good to be able to say like, yeah, I'm close to paying off some of my student loan, and then you know, it's one of the ones with the higher interest rate, even though it's low, and so once I feel like once I hit that one, I am going to be inclined to be like, okay, so I paid one of them off, let's try the next lowest one, and then the next lowest one, and just try and get all the low ones, and then like hopefully within like 5 years have paid off most of the lower ones, the lower amounts, and just have a few remaining that are unbearably heavy.
You might die with them, and
yeah,
I don't know. I saw those ads on Facebook where they're like, hey, call this hotline and we'll get your, you know, we'll wipe out your student loans. Some of my friends had their student loans wiped out. I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways to do it. So the main way that I am familiar with is the 10 years of public service. There's the teacher's service as well, so you do Teacher America and they'll pay some off.
Oh, okay.
Some companies will match your student loans, so whatever your monthly payment is, they'll also make the same monthly payment.
Ooh.
And then, let's see, and then there's like consolidations, so you can consolidate, and sometimes with that, they will erase, like they'll eat some of it, and then there's hardship, so you have to dip.
Farting.
Yeah, you have to fart,
you have to fart.
as much as possible.
Public service.
Public service. But yeah, so if you can demonstrate a hardship, so basically it happens in instances where people become disabled, or
cut your arm off.
Cut your arm off, that's the way. Put it on nice though.
Yeah.
So don't. But yeah, if you for whatever reason can't work, or things aren't working out for you for a long period of time, or you just can't make payments, and it's my understanding is a pretty high threshold to be able to surpass, but it's an available option. You know, if like you're taking care of other people and you have no money left over and like you're barely making it by, I would consult an attorney at that point, but there's ways to get rid of the student loan at that point.
So I have we got some Facebook questions here just from today.
Sure.
One was an emoji of a cat listening.
I think that's a bunny.
It's a bunny. Sorry,
yeah,
bunny.
Yeah.
Bunny.
Some sort of adorable animal with
headphones. So that was our question. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Okay, good. So that's from Donnie Huff. And then Aldo Sosa, I don't know if he's a comedian or not, but he says, what are your needs to save for? I don't really know what he means by that. I guess you can interpret it like dishes.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, that was actually a thing, so I, went through, I came into a little bit of money after my relationship didn't work out.
Okay.
From selling the house that we mutually owned. And so, I used some of that along with my IRA to pay for my new place. And, I had also paid down all of my debts, my credit card debt, everything like that too. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm in a much better position. But I, didn't think as clearly down the line of like, okay, well, what can I'm just going to live in a place that has no furniture. So then I had to buy furniture, and then, I had to buy dishes, and I had to, buy all of these things to, build up my new place. So, I ended up saving, about $5,000 of what I had from there. But, at the same time, like, that sits there with, like, you know, my newly formed credit card debt that I'm trying to pay down. And it's like, yeah, I could use all of that money to pay that down and pretty much eradicate it. But at the same time, like, I'm still, with those credit cards, with, you know, all that money I'm accumulating, I'm paying more than the minimums. I'm paying usually like 10 times the minimum, or 5 to 10 times the minimum. So it's like, it's a constant struggle of being like, I could be completely free of that right now if I wanted to, versus like, I will just maintain the slow and steady pace and try and pay it off over time.
I feel you.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a very frustrating thing, because like, if, you know, God forbid something bad happens, I got that money, you know, stocked away. If I, you know, I lose my job or, you know, anything like that, I can be like, okay, I got a little bit.
Or just pay off your credit card and rack it up on the credit card again.
Exactly, right?
Like,
yeah. They increased my credit limit, so I'll live for a while. It'll be fun. Yeah.
And then this is one from Bill Hall. Not sure. Yeah, I don't think he's a comedian either, but he said, "What percentage is used for buying jokes?"
Minimum. The 0.001% of my income. You know, but you know, I mean, I think you can increase it, because you know, you have to invest in life experiences, and you know, that might not be a direct way of buying jokes, but you're buying the experience and engaging in the experience, which may lead to jokes later on.
Like getting on like the light rail just to see what happens.
Yeah, just to see what happens.
Buy a $4 ticket for the day.
Yeah, buy a $4 ticket for the day. Be like one of Phoenix's citizens and complain that there are too many drug addicts. Yeah. That was a study that came out today.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Is anyone suing anybody for that?
I have no doubt that they are. Yeah.
And then this is the question. I lost my job a few weeks ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
That's okay. Good. I'm gonna get into my 401k probably. So if someone loses their job, what's the first financial step they should take, in your opinion?
Let's see. Okay, well, it depends. So I think that if you lose your job, and depending on the circumstances, if you quit, or whether or not you're fired or whatever it is.
Fired.
Okay, yeah.
Planning on quitting, fired.
Yeah. You know, seeing whether or not there's a severance opportunity, or you know, going for unemployment, and getting that all situated. Whether or not you feel like you have the most savings in the world or anything like that, if you're entitled to getting unemployment while you look for a new job or anything like that, then I say go for it.
Yes.
Then, you know, depending upon whether or not you are, I would contact, you know, your landlord or your mortgage company or whatever it is, and explain your situation, and student loan company if you have student loans.
Or credit cards.
Yeah, credit cards, and be like, this is my situation, this is what I'm going to be going through, I have money in reserve, and I'm looking for a job, but this is what's going on, so, you know, I don't want to, you know, be calling you in a panic because stuff hasn't worked out, but this is what's going on. And usually, you know, you're going to get, you know, people that don't care.
They're like, pay it anyways.
Yeah,
and they just hang up.
Yeah, exactly. But you've done your due diligence and trying to inform them. And usually they have either recordings, or you can follow up and do it.
Or notate the account.
Yeah, exactly. Notate the account. Make a you know, a paper record, so to speak, of everything as best you can, and you know, just try and control the situation and say, yeah, I talked to you and I told you that this was going to be a problem, and that just gives you better bargaining position later on, and saying like, you know, I asked you for help 6 months ago, and I'm just now coming to this difficult time, but I've been making my payments, I've been communicating with you, I've been taking these notes. And then oftentimes, like, especially, like, maybe the first person you talk to isn't going to be helpful when it becomes a difficult situation, but a manager presented with that information usually will be like, okay, you're trying to do the right thing, you know what I mean? You're trying to keep us informed, and usually they'll be fine. That's usually with the credit cards, but like with student loan stuff, if it's through the federal government, they're usually like pretty responsive in saying, okay, we can put you into forbearance, we can, you know, there's other options you can do, to reduce your payments. But yeah, I mean, it's just, getting yourself into a more defensible position, I guess. I would say, just planning for what happens if you don't find a job immediately, and if 6 months down the line, however long down the line, your reserves don't pan out. Cool. I'm in a position where I'm like, I don't have to call 50 places and panic. I've gotten a couple things set up, and some people already know to help me out, and so I don't have to worry as much.
And I will say, I did I did work for a credit card company that I got fired from, and a lot of times we can't even help anybody until they're past due. We can't tell them their options until they go 1 day past due. So just consider that if they're not being helpful on the phone, it might be because you need to go past due for them to tell you all of your options.
Right.
And the one I worked for didn't report to the credit bureau, so that's crazy. I know some of them do. It's an online credit source. So we're gonna end it soon. What are you working on now?
Let's see. I am writing. Let's see. Yeah, I'm working towards the Storrs objection. There's another one coming up just this coming week, this coming Friday, March 24th. The theme is dinosaurs, and it's
favorite.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. It's my birthday's next week, so I figured. It's my birthday coming up. What topic would I rather talk about for my birthday than dinosaurs?
Dinosaur cake.
Exactly, right? So yeah, doing that. I have another objection during the Bird City Comedy Festival. The topic of that one is safety. Then I'm on a bunch of shows at Bird City. But yeah, other than that, just going out and doing shows. And trying to write new jokes. And lawyering, yeah. Writing every day.
By the way, I'm an Aries too. My birthday is
fantastic.
in a couple weeks.
Oh, for sure, cool.
Aries power.
It's good stuff.
It's good. I don't know if anyone believes in it, but I just like saying it. Anyways, actually, Bird City is when I first saw the Storrs objection last year.
Oh, for sure, cool.
So that's why I'll try to go.
It's gonna be that one's gonna be a good one for sure.
Safety. Okay. Yeah. Well, thanks for watching.
Yes, thank you so much.